I asked you to send questions and you sent in questions, a ton of questions. We have got a lot to get through, but I promise I will try and answer as many as possible. It's coming up. Hey everyone, Steve here from Learn Online Video, and you know what? It has been a while. It's been a while since we last did one of these Q&A videos. In fact, the last time we did this, we just surpassed 50,000 subscribers, and now we're just about to surpass 1 million, which I cannot thank you enough for, by the way. I appreciate all the support that you've given this channel more than you will ever know. But look, listen, I am just about to hike out across Dartmoor in search of a new location for an upcoming video, and I thought, you know what? Why don't I bring you along for the ride? You can keep me company and I can answer some of your questions. Starting with question number 1. Hello Steve, your videos are excellent, thank you very much. I would be interested in more smartphone tutorials. Greetings from Germany. Well, guten Tag Germany, you are in luck because I have plenty of smartphone tutorials on the way. Okay, next question. Hi Steve, firstly thank you, you're very welcome. My question is, when I take videos on the beach, I find it flat and monotonous. How can I make sea and beach videos more interesting? Okay, so regardless of what location you're at, the same rules pretty much apply. If you want to get interesting shots, then get creative. Think about camera angles, camera movement, framing, composition. Try getting your camera low to the ground. Try getting top-down shots. Just really try and think about shooting in a different way. Think about different editing techniques. Think about your music selection, sound effects. When you combine all of this, it doesn't really matter what location you're at, you're gonna make it look more interesting. Okay, next question. Hi Steve, love your channel, thank you very much. I've learned so much from your videos. Do you have any tips for an amputee when it comes to bending and heel toe? Thank you. Absolutely, and one of the first things I would say would be just to not get discouraged. It's totally possible to make it in the filmmaking world when you're an amputee or you don't necessarily have the same mobility as others. I've got a really good friend, he's an amputee. He shoots really well, he edits really well, and he creates really good content. I've even got a video on this channel called 8 Gimbal Moves Without Moving Your Feet. And in this video, I show you how to capture great looking footage without even moving your feet. Stood still, you could be sat, you could be stood, it doesn't matter. The point being, you don't need to be moving around to capture great looking footage. I'll link that video up here in the cards and down in the description below. Also, I know a ton of you are going to ask what I'm shooting on right now, so let me show you right now using my phone. I am shooting on the Weebill, the new Weebill 3. I've got the Canon R6 with a 16 to 35mm lens. I've got an ND filter on there because it's quite sunny today. And I've got the Rode Wireless Go for some wireless audio. So yeah, that is today's setup. Look what I just found. Old farmhouse. Look at that. A lot of history here. Let's take this gimbal for a spin, shall we? Okay, next question. Can we make a career out of mobile videography? Absolutely you can. There is a massive demand for video at the moment, and there will be for years to come. And we're finally at a stage now where actually you can get really good professional looking results with a mobile phone. I mean, technically, I guess I'm making a career out of mobile videography because I do so many mobile videography tutorials, but you can make professional videos on your phone for businesses, brands. Actually, some brands are looking for videos that have that smartphone feel to them, a bit more raw. So yes, absolutely, it is 100% possible to make a career out of mobile videography. Okay, next question. Yo, Steve, what do you recommend when shooting B-roll with a phone? 4K 30 frames per second or 1080 60 frames per second? Okay, yeah, so this really comes down to a few factors, really. So the first one being, do you want to slow your footage down? 4K 30 frames per second is going to give you nice high resolution footage, but if you're shooting at 30 frames per second, then you're not going to be able to slow that footage down without it being all jumpy. So if your plan is to slow down your footage, then yes, shoot at 1080 60 frames per second. Also, another factor to consider here is 4K files are 4 times the size of 1080. So number one, do you have the storage on your phone or your camera to shoot with those bigger file sizes? And then also, do you have a computer heavy enough, powerful enough to handle editing 4K footage? Because if you don't have the storage or you don't have the computer power, then just forget 4K altogether. Okay, next question, can you follow me? Yeah, I don't see why not. I will do that right now. You have been followed. I look forward to seeing some content soon. Okay, next question. Hello, Steve. Greetings from India. Hello. Please guide us about lighting setups for beginners. Yeah, sure. I actually posted a video just a few weeks ago all about beginner lighting tips, and I walk you through the setup of the lighting in my studio. But all of the tips and techniques in that video can be applied to just about any room, any studio. I run you through what is called a 3-point lighting setup. I won't explain that now, but what I will do is link that video up here and put it in the description below. Okay, next question. What is the best video editing software for those who just started editing? Yeah, sure. So there's basically 3 main editing programs as far as I'm concerned. There's Final Cut Pro X, that's what I use. The downside to that is that it costs 300 quid and it's only available for Apple users. The next one is Adobe Premiere Pro, that also you have to pay for. But the one that I recommend to anyone starting out is DaVinci Resolve because it's free and it's really, really good. Okay, next question. Which one do you enjoy taking videos with more, using your phone camera or your real camera, Sony or Canon? You know what, that's a really good question and a really hard one to answer. Which one do I enjoy the most? Well, the most fun, I would say, is shooting on your phone because it's just so much easier. You're more run and gun, you're more lightweight. You don't really need to think about packing your equipment before you go out because your phone is always with you. The downside to shooting on your phone is that yes, the quality is really good these days, and when you're shooting on a phone compared to a, let's call it a real camera like the camera I'm shooting on now, the Canon R6, when you watch that footage back on a phone, it is quite difficult to tell them apart, but as soon as you start watching on a 4K television or a 4K monitor, it's quite easy to spot the difference between a phone and a real camera. So there's pros and cons to both. The honest answer is I truly enjoy shooting with both, but in terms of the most fun and ease, then I'd have to say the smartphone. Okay, next question. Can you tell me the best wireless mic and its features? Well, in my opinion, the best wireless mic is the one that I'm using right now. This is the Rode Wireless Go. I've just got it attached here with this dead cat on because it was a little bit windy earlier on. But yeah, the Rode Wireless Go. Love this microphone. It's never failed me. Bought it with my own money. This isn't something that someone's sent me. It's just a really good, reliable wireless microphone. So yeah, if you like the sound of the audio that you've heard in this video, that's where it's coming from. Okay, next question. Is there any way to stabilize my footage in a mobile? Sometimes I take the perfect shot, but it's a little bit shaky. How do I fix it? Yeah, sure. There are a number of different ways that you can get nice, smooth footage. Let's break it down into 2 parts. There's the filming part and there's the editing part. If you haven't shot your footage yet and you're trying to capture nice, smooth shots, then try shooting in slow motion because that's going to remove a lot of the shake. If you can't get nice, smooth shots shooting handheld, then consider investing in a gimbal like what I'm shooting on now. But if you've already shot your footage and it's looking a bit shaky, then try using post-stabilization. Final Cut Pro has post-stabilization. Adobe Premiere Pro has something called Warp Stabilizer. Add this to your footage and it will take away a lot of that nasty shake. Okay, next question. I just recently found you and love your videos. Do you have a course I can take? Well, funny you should mention that because I'm working on a course right now. I've written the course, just need to shoot and edit it, which will probably take a while, but expect that in the coming months. Okay, next question. I still struggle to get to grips with shutter speed and frame rates. Any help you can give to help understand the best settings would be really useful. Thank you. Yeah, sure. So generally speaking, your shutter speed should be double your frame rate. So if you're shooting at 24 frames per second, your shutter should be 1/48 or 1/50. It doesn't have to be precise. Again, if you're shooting at 50 frames per second, your shutter should be 1/100. They call this the 180 rule. There are exceptions to this rule, but generally speaking, shutter speed, double frame rate. Okay, next question. Come to Cambodia and I'll ask you lots of questions, plus show you the most awesome places to visit. Well, that sounds great. Thank you so much for your incredible videos. I've learned a lot from you. Take care. Well, thank you very much, Cambodia Nomad. If I ever come to Cambodia, I will be sure to look you up. Look at this, look, we are getting those steps in today, 12,300 so far, doing good. Okay, next question. Why do you tell the exact same tips in every video? I'm not really sure how to take that. There was a smiley emoji at the end of it, so I'm not sure I'm being trolled too hard, but I do get your point. There are definitely things that I say on this channel that might seem a little bit repetitive, but the reality is that these are the fundamentals of filmmaking and videography. No different if you were, say, watching a YouTube channel all about cooking. What you'll probably hear the chef say quite a lot is don't forget to season your food, add salt and pepper. The reason they would say this is because it's such an important part of the process. It's a fundamental to cooking. The same applies to filmmaking and videography. There are certain tips and techniques that are just a part of filmmaking, framing, composition, camera movement, angles. I talk about these things a lot, but I do try and keep the content as fresh and as new and as exciting as possible. In fact, I've got a video coming up very soon which is unlike anything I've ever created before. Let me give you a little sneak peek of that right now. So as you can see, I do try and keep the content as fresh and as exciting as possible, but without doubt, there are going to be things that you hear me say time and time again because they're such an important part of the filmmaking process. Okay, next question. Does pineapple belong on pizza? Ooh, controversial question. Look, I'm going to answer this one honestly. Yes, I love pineapple on my pizza, but to be fair, I like pretty much any topping. I think it belongs there, but totally understand why some people hate the thought of pineapple on their pizza. I mean, it's fruit. Fruit on a pizza? On paper that doesn't work, but in reality it does. Uh-oh, what's happened here? Looks like there's been some kind of fatality. That doesn't look good. The dangers of Dartmoor. Okay, next question. How many subscribers do you need to start earning money here on YouTube? Okay, well, how many subscribers you have on YouTube doesn't really have that much relevance to how much money you can make. For example, there are YouTubers out there that have millions of subscribers and aren't really making much money. Equally, there are YouTubers out there that have 10,000 subscribers and they're making millions and millions of pounds. So there's no kind of milestone or threshold which says, okay, once you reach 100,000 subscribers, you're going to make £100,000. It's not like that. It's more about how you set up YouTube as a business and your monetization strategy. Totally possible to make a full-time living from a small audience on YouTube. Okay, next question. Hi Steve, what is your name? What on earth kind of question is that? Stumbled across a very familiar site here on Dartmoor, some Dartmoor ponies. So tame, beautiful. Hello. Hello. Look at that one. Looks like an 80s rock star. Now look at this for a location. Let's just head up here. Let me show you the view from up here. I mean, this is, I don't know how high up we are here, but this is pretty amazing. Let me show you the views from up here. Just look at this. This is spectacular. A full 360 degrees. We can see as far as the eye can see. This is exactly the location I was looking for a little project I'm working on. I can't give too much away, but look, just enjoy this view with me for a sec, would you? It is about as good as it gets. So look, I'm gonna hang out here for a while, eat some lunch, enjoy this incredible view, and then I'm gonna head back. But look, I just wanna say thanks for hanging out. Thanks for keeping me company. This has been fun. We should do this more often. We will do this more often. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.